Over 35 and struggling to lose weight? Watch this video for my personal plan for weight loss after 35. Hi, it's Ivana, helping you get fit, healthy, and strong at any age. If that sounds good to you, please subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when I release a new video every week. If you're over 35 and having a hard time losing weight, there are probably a lot of people telling you, oh, it's just your age. Well, I specialize in helping people 35 and over lose weight and get fit, and I've been doing so for over 20 years. So I want to tell you that you can lose weight after 35, and there are some changes that happen, but they're mostly lifestyle related and not necessarily physiological. So I'm going to share those things with you today so you can lose weight after 35. The first thing is to monitor your food intake. A lot of people don't have a very good idea of how much they're eating on a regular basis, and it's important to find out how many calories you're eating and how they break down into macros, so protein, carbs, and fat. We're often underestimating how much we're eating, so you don't think you're eating that much, but you might be having a little bit here, a little bit there, and it all adds up. So counting calories is not a lot of fun long term, and I know most people don't want to do that. And that's fine, but initially, if you want to find out where you're at, how much you're eating on a regular basis, then it's a good idea to get some sort of information about that. So normally I start my online coaching clients with an app such as MyFitnessPal, and I'll include the link for that below. So you can try that out and you just record what you're eating, and you might be surprised by the calories in some things. For instance, a restaurant meal could be from 1,200 to 1,500 calories just for the main part of the meal, and that's not including any drinks you have, any appetizers or dessert. So things can add up very, very quickly, and you may very well be having way more calories than you need to. So start monitoring your food intake and find out what you can do to improve it. The next thing is to focus on weight training. If you don't do anything to maintain it, you are going to lose 0.5 to 1% of your muscle mass per year every year after 35. Just to be clear on that, that means if you don't do anything to maintain it. And the best way to maintain your muscle mass and to build it potentially is to do weight training. I normally recommend about 3 to 4 sessions of 45 minutes, and that can be enough for most people. So muscle is slightly more metabolically active than fat, so you're going to be able to maintain your metabolism as you get older if you maintain and increase your muscle mass. Get enough protein. So many people think of protein for muscle building, and absolutely, it's fabulous for that. But protein also increases your satisfaction with your meal. It keeps you full for longer, and you're less likely to eat as much later on. And that's how we lose weight, through a calorie deficit. Protein and high protein diets tend to increase the satisfaction with the meal. They will stabilize your insulin levels, so you're less likely to have a crash that maybe increases your cravings for certain foods later on. And I generally recommend that people, especially as you get older, when you want to maintain your muscle mass as much as possible, get 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound per day. So that's per pound of body weight. So let's say you weigh 160 pounds, then you would eat up to 160 grams of protein. So about 128 to 160 grams of protein per day. Obviously, if you're quite outside your goal weight, so if you've got 30 or 40 pounds to lose, then you can do your protein goal based on your target weight instead of what your weight is now, because that becomes a lot of protein for most people. But protein can really be the key, not just for building muscle, but then providing you with weight loss, because you're able to manage your appetite better and you're eating consistently and not out of control. Keep active. So it's really, really important that you move as much as you can throughout the day. And I know that can be a challenge, but contrary to what most people think, the traditional form of cardio where you're just at the gym for like half an hour and you might be just on the cross trainer really slowly, or you're pedaling away on the stationary bike, not putting a lot of effort in there, it's not the best use of your time in the gym. But it is a good idea to incorporate as much physical activity into your daily life as possible. So if you can walk to work, walk at lunchtime, anything that can be incorporated into your day, it's going to improve your posture and the way that you feel throughout the day if you get up regularly and move around anyway. So that's definitely something that you want to be doing. And also think about incorporating physical activity into your social life and into your time with your kids, for instance. So you can go for walks with colleagues or friends, and you might want to go take your kid for a walk or go bike riding. And if you're playing with your kids, play with your kids, and you can run around and burn off a few calories for yourself as well, and you're gonna feel much better doing that. Manage stress. So stress can affect your weight loss in a couple of ways. First of all, when you're stressed, you're more likely to be eating a lot. You're eating high calorie, high fat, high carb foods, probably eating a lot more than you think you are because you're not really being aware of what you're taking in. You're consuming a lot of calories, you're gonna be in a calorie surplus, and you're gonna start to put on fat. The other way that stress can affect your weight loss is that when you have stress on an ongoing basis, you're going to raise your cortisol levels. And cortisol, in the simplest way possible, is considered the stress hormone. The cortisol tends to lay down body fat, particularly in the midsection where nobody really wants it. So you've got the combination of overeating and then cortisol levels potentially storing more fat as well. So we want to be able to deal with our stress in a positive way. Food is not a great way, alcohol is not a great way, definitely smoking or anything like that. So the best way to deal with your stress, first of all, is to rely on getting enough sleep. So 7 to 9 hours is what's recommended. And I know there are certain times, if you have a young child or if you have to do shift work or something like that, then you might not be able to get enough sleep for certain periods of time, but try to get to sleep as early as possible. Take advantage of whatever opportunities you have to sleep. And for the most part, try to get to bed earlier because it's hard to rely on being able to sleep in to a certain time, especially if you've got a little one jumping into your bed in the morning or something like that. That's just my experience. But anyway, sleep-wise, sleep is really, really important. It affects everything else, how much energy you have to prepare your foods, how much energy you have at the gym. So focus on sleep first. If you sleep more, you'll be able to bring your stress levels down a little bit. The second thing would be exercise. Now, I can't tell you how many times I have felt like stressed out and just doing too much. I head to the gym to say, I'm just gonna do a quick workout, and maybe I get in there for 40 minutes or something like that. And afterwards, I feel so much better. So exercise really is a great stress reliever, and that's what you want to rely on as much as possible if you can squeeze it in. And the third thing is something like a meditation practice, and it doesn't have to be anything spiritual or anything like that. It's just taking a little bit of time to breathe, maybe 5 minutes just to recover. If you head over to my website, I have an article about meditation, and it's just a 5-minute meditation to get you started, just a simple description of how to do it. The other thing that you can also do is just practice mindfulness, which just means being more aware of your environment, being more aware of your emotions, noticing sights and sounds and smells. So you can do that any time of day, but you can pick a certain time of day. Well, maybe you do that for 5 minutes, or you do that while you're brushing your teeth. And these are just exercises to get you a little bit more aware of what's going on and to bring down those stress levels. Let me know in the comments, what do you do to relieve stress? Let's summarize everything that we learned. So monitor your food intake, focus on weight training, get enough protein, stay active, and manage your stress. Those are the things that are gonna help you lose weight after 35. Now you know what to do. How do you get started? Well, I want you to head over to my website, ivanachapman.com. I've included the link below. I want you to sign up for my email list, and you're gonna get a free copy of my ebook, How to Get Lean After 35. I've also included a workout program to get you started. If you enjoyed this video or if you learned anything at all, please do give me a like. Subscribe to my channel to get weekly evidence-based information about fitness, nutrition, and lifestyle. See you soon.